Captain by a hook with a red beard. Captain by a hook with a red beard.
Oh, baby, baby. Beautiful day to be back, man. Great weekend of NFL football kicking off. I mean, had a blast watching football Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Monday. Still recovering, man. Haven't been exercising my throwing beers back on. Caught up on me. Anyway, definitely gonna react to everything around the NFL Week 1. Um, marvelous a weekend from event wise. Hope that continues throughout the season. Knock on some dang wood. But around the world in sports, we got the WNBA. Their playoffs are getting near. Still, one spot left. Two teams have been eliminated since the last time we spoke. Three teams duking it out for the last spots in the WNBA playoffs. I will take a look at that. Also, take a look at games for tonight. A few of them have some implications, maybe just one. But definitely going to break down those games for tonight. Got some good ones for you on the WNBA League Pass. Can't wait. The Lynx and Dream. Then you got the Liberty and the Wings and the Sun take on the Sparks. A couple of nice games. Should be some entertaining games. But definitely gearing up for the playoffs and the WNBA, baby. Really looking forward to it. Cannot wait for that to tip off. Get this thing down to tournament form. Also on the Diamond, the Diamond. We're about 20 days away from their playoffs pitching off. I said kicking off. I said tipping off. And now we're pitching off, baby. Man, looks like the Twins, the Red Sox, Tigers, Mariners, all kind of duking it out for the last wild card spot in the AL. Rays, Rangers, also mathematically in the fight. I guess mathematically the Blue Jays are too. 8.5 games back. Red Sox, Twins. Well, you got the Twins, and then they're in it right now, but they've lost four in a row. Hopefully, they can turn something around today. They get the Angels, maybe a little foreshadowing to the bets. I do have four bets for you on the Diamond. And then you got the Red Sox, Tigers, Mariners, all 3 games back from the Twins for that last spot. The Rays, 5 games back. The Rangers, 6. Blue Jays, 8.5. The Metropolitans of New York City so nice they named it twice. They are now in the final playoff spot. Atlanta Braves only 1 game back. Cubbies of Chicago 5 games back, and the Cardinals 6.5. Giants 8. Reds 9.5. Man, shout out to the Mets. If the Saints didn't win 47-10 over the weekend, I'd have a Mets hat on right now, a rooting for the home team. Not only are the Mets holding on to that last wild card spot, it's a jumble for seeding in the NL wild card spot. You have the Padres and Diamondbacks a game and a game and a half on top of the Mets. So technically, you got 4 teams: Padres, Diamondbacks, Mets, Braves, all within 2 games, 2.5 games of each other, and there's only 3 spots left in the playoffs. I'm pretty sure all the divisions are wrapped up. Only division that was even somewhat open. I guess you got a few of them still open. Orioles a game and a half back from the Yankees in the AL East. And then you got the Royals, 3.5 back from the Guardians. 4.5 back Mariners. And that's about it. Everything else is pretty much finished. Let's dive into it all, baby. Head first. This is Captain by a hook with the red beard. I'm Rowan Donaghy, aka Rowan Dobbs, going live on a beautiful Tuesday. Starting off a new week. We got NFL week 2. Tomorrow, we'll dive into week 2 a little more. I do have a teaser to give out for you guys. Mañana. The first week's teaser did not go so well. Week 2 teaser. Looking to make that change. But anyway, we'll talk more NFL Week 2 tomorrow. Today, we're diving into the MLB first, get to the WNBA, and then I kind of want to recap Week 1 before I start looking forward to Week 2. As you heard in the intro in the Major League Baseball, AL Central, AL East, AL West, all three of those divisions have a team tailing that could make a move. Most of the National League divisions pretty much probably going to sit where they sit. We do have some wild card movement. I talked about the Mets took over the last National League wild card spot. Braves, though. Braves are only a game behind them. Mets taking on Toronto today. Braves kicking off a series against the Nasty Nationals. So gonna be a fun through last 2.5, 3 weeks of baseball, watching the Mets and Braves race for that last wild card spot. But in the AL Central, you got the Royals who won't go away. They're 3.5 back now from the Guardians. If you remember here about a week ago, they tied them up and then just went on a 7-game losing streak after that, clawing their way back. They take on a game series against the Yankees, while the Guardians get to go beat up on the lowly White Sox, who have won 2 out of their last 10. So don't sleep on the Southsiders. And then the AL East, Orioles, 1.5 games back from the dang Yankees. The dang Yankees, Orioles, they're hitting a little skid at the wrong time. They lost 3 in a row. See if they could bounce back against the Red Sox. And then again, Royals, Yankees. That'll be a fun series coming today. I got a bet in that game for you later. Astros, they're only 4.5 games back on the Mariners. The Mariners just will not give up. And don't look now, but the Rangers have even decided maybe they can join the race. Rangers 7.5 back of the division, 6 games back from a wild card. It'll be a long shot, but they do have the talent, both pitching and hitting, to make a run. Wouldn't surprise me, excuse me, if the Rangers get within 2 or 3 games at least and make it interesting the last week. Man, man. Some fun games tonight on the diamond. You got Suarez taking on the mound for the Phillies against the Rays. Blake Lively, Blake Lively. He'll start for the Guardians against the White Sox tonight. Um, Seth Lugo, Marcus Stroman. That'll be a fun game to watch. Both of these pitchers been struggling lately. Uh, I'm gonna try and take advantage of that. You got Chris Bassett. He'll be taking on his former team, the New York Mets, with Doug Peterson, the lefty, taking the mound for the Metropolitans. See if they can stay hot today. Reynaldo Lopez taking on Mackenzie Gore, Braves, Nationals. Cutter Crawford takes the mound for the Red Sox as they host the Orioles and Austin Suarez, Yu Darvish, George Kirby, couple of aces going at it in Seattle. That'll be a fun one for sure. Can Ari Getty bounce back? Gave up what, 9 runs in the first inning against the Reds last week. They're taking on the Athletics. The Astros are with Beto on the mound. Reds, Cardinals, always a fun series there. Angels, Twins. Pablo Lopez starting for the Twins. Twins lost 4 in a row, holding on to that last wild card spot by a few games. They need to get right. Maybe they get right today against the Angels, Diamondbacks, Rangers. Both of these teams, uh, Rangers a lot more desperate than the Diamondbacks, but the Diamondbacks trying to finish strong. 80-win Diamondbacks. Who would have thunk it? They were struggling in May, but they got their ace Gallen on the mound. Zach Gallen. He'll be taking on Nathan Eovaldi for the Rangers, and then Cubs Dodgers. That's going to be a fun one to end the night. You got Shada and Managa taking on Yamamoto for the Dodgers. So definitely going to be a fun one there on the mound. I got 4 bets for you tonight across Major League Baseball and 2 possible. But definitely got 4 bets for you. Still thinking about this last one. Cubs Dodgers over. Man, a night game in LA over 8. Do have 2 beautiful pitchers on the mound, so definitely something I'm still perusing. But man, about 2.5 weeks away from playoffs, so definitely cannot wait for some playoff baseball, baby. Let's jump on over to another sport coming up on their playoffs. I'm talking about the WNBA right here on Captain by a Hook, baby. If you look at the schedule, about 5 days left, about a week left, more than 5 days, about a week left. 9 games, a week and 2 days, 9 days, 9 days. So probably 4 or 5, maybe 3 or 4 games for every team left in the league. Got a nice 4 game slate tonight. But yeah, a little over a week left in the WNBA playoffs. Taking a look at the standings, you still got 3 teams fighting for that last spot. Chicago, they're sitting in it right now. They have a 1 game lead on a 2 game win streak. 1 game lead over the Atlanta Dream, who's taking on the Minnesota Lynx tonight. That'll be a tough one. And then you have the Washington Mystics, who's a game behind Atlanta. So you have Chicago with 13 wins, Atlanta with 12 wins, and Washington with 11 wins. Coming down to the last 9 days of the season, Atlanta will take on Minnesota tonight. They're 4.5 point dogs at home against Minnesota, in my opinion. Top Man, if the Liberty and Aces aren't so stacked, the Minnesota Lynx is probably the top team in the league. But then I could still confidently say Minnesota Lynx is the top team in the league. They beat the Aces 2 or 3 times this season. Won the Commissioner's Cup. Also beat the Liberty twice. So tomorrow you got the Mystics taking on the Sky, so that can make up a game and lose a game. Chicago's 3 point favorites at home. Mystics get that win. That's going to be a huge game for them. That'll put them at 12 wins and keep Chicago at 13 wins. Depending on what happens in Atlanta tonight, that could make or break somebody's season tomorrow. I don't know if Washington I don't know if they can make up 3 games if they lose tomorrow. So that might even be a must win for the Washington Mystics, who remember started off 0-12, now 11-24. So 11-12 over the second half of the season. Um, Great little comeback for the Mystics. And then after that, if you want to look ahead a little bit, Friday, we get the Mystics taking on the Dream, right there in the True. So Mystics right here, you win these next 2 games, you might be in a playoff spot by the end of the week. Uh, Beat the Chicago Sky, who's 2 games ahead of you, and then you could beat the Dream on Friday, who is 1 game ahead of you. So definitely a fun week if you want to watch some WNBA basketball. Mystics have 2 games against the Dream. They take on the Dream again next Sunday. So, that's this Sunday. And then the Dream play the Sky. So it is weird. All these teams are going to be playing each other to end the season. Mystics get to play the Dream twice and the Sky once, and the Dream and Sky will play once or twice, it looks like, as well. So definitely going to be some fun WNBA basketball going down. Asia Wilson reported that she was in a boot. I'm not sure what's going on with her. Um, that I don't think it's too serious, but definitely will be monitoring the situation this week right here on Captain by a Hook. Just look at some lines for tonight. I kind of don't like betting sports last week. Multiple reasons. The Lynx only being 4.5 point favorites tonight against Atlanta. Very fishy. I haven't looked up anything, so that's on me. I probably should have. But that just shows me, just looking at the number, that maybe they're resting. Maybe they can't get a better spot than they are seeding wise. Again, look all this stuff up on your own. Before I make a bet on these games, I'll look this stuff up. But just looking at the number, it's telling me to stay away, because that Lynx minus 4.5. Any other time in the season against Atlanta, I'm betting my life on it. But just due to the circumstances, last week of the season, definitely could see them resting. Liberty, their minus 10.5. Would like to take Wings plus 10.5, but they just got eliminated. So I don't know if they're even going to come out and play with any kind of rush or urgency. And that's probably why the Liberty are minus 10.5. And if the Liberty are up 30, we're late in the season, I'm gonna stay away from props just because you never know what you never know. Sun and Sparks, I don't think either of these teams have anything to play for. Same thing with the Aces and the Fever. Aces are only -2. We saw Asia in a boot. Does she even go a full 32, 35 minutes? Fever plus money at home is tempting. But you just never know what's going on in the league right now. The Mystics and the Sky, that game's tomorrow. Aces and Fever is also tomorrow, excuse me. But that's the game that you can kind of bet on, knowing both teams are going to come out, give it their all. Both teams fighting for that last playoff spot. So other than that game tomorrow, probably going to stay away from the WNBA this week, betting wise. But definitely going to be watching as a fan, keeping up with what the hell is going on. Man, man, please, Captain by a hook, baby. Started the season off Thursday night. The NFL did. Chiefs get the 7-point win over the Ravens. Um, I'm not going to talk about every game in detail, but I do want to say this. Lamar Jackson, come on, man. And I know I'm late with this take. Everybody's had their takes. Just hand the ball off to Derrick Henry. You had about 3 or 4 instances where y'all did the zone read where I felt like you should have handed the ball off to Derrick Henry, but you kept it and you got 3 yards. You got to give Henry those touches. I understand how great and amazing you are, but let Derrick Henry be great. We need to be getting him 18 plus touches a night. Uh, Almost pulled out the crazy win, but you got to just stay more poised and under control. Same thing happened to you in the playoffs. You get down to Mahomes and you start trying to be Superman. Just let Henry get them 4 or 5 yard runs. He'll bust a couple of them in the third or fourth quarter, and it also keeps the defense guessing to where when you do keep it, you can maybe make 5 or 6 yards instead of 2 or 3. And also, keep your damn eyes up the field, man. Too many times I'm watching a replay of you just scrambling, gambling, gambling, and you got receivers wide the hell open. I mean, wide ass open. You got to be able to make those throws at this level, man. The legs can't save you forever. You got people open, you need to hit them. You need to learn how to hit NFL open. Packers, Eagles. Horrible injury late in the game. Jordan Love, Packers. Everybody was high on them coming in the season. Looks like at least for the first 3 or 4 games after this one, Jordan Love will be missing. Eagles, though, they looked impressive. 34-29 win. Saquon Barkley. I know. Fantasy owners creaming everywhere that got him. Saquon, baby. 3 touchdowns, 109 yards on the ground. 2 of those touchdowns rushing. Excellent performance from the damn Eagles. Gritty win. Saints, who that baby? Said he gonna beat them Saints. Turkey dog whooped the Panthers 47-10. Maybe the most impressive week 1 victory, although it's against the Panthers. Not a lot of weight on it. The good thing for New Orleans fans, you'll get the true test this weekend, taking on taking on the Cowboys. So we ain't gotta wait long to see if that's a real deal or not. My guess is hell to the gnaw. But hey, who am I? Steelers. They upset, quote unquote. They beat the Falcons. A lot of people high on the Falcons, low on the Steelers. Looks like a lot of people were wrong. Bills, they have a shootout against the Cardinals, come out with the win 34-28. Buffalo, rolling. 1-0, baby. Can't stop or won't stop. Titans, they fall to the Bears after going up 17-0. Caleb Williams, zero, zero, zero everything. Somehow the Bears defense and special teams put up 24 points. Caleb Williams less than 100 yards in his debut, but he's 1-0, and it's all about winning. The Patriots, they run all over the dang Bengals. 120 yards and a touchdown for Stevenson. Patriots upset Cincinnati 16-10. Texans, Colts. It was a shootout in the AFC South. CJ Stroud, 2 touchdowns, getting the job done. Joe Mixon, everybody says he's washed. Give him 30 carries, see what he can do. They gave him 30 carries. He got 159 yards and a touchdown. Texans 29-27, a close, tight game to open up the season. Both of those teams, I think, are really good. Also, Stephon Diggs got 2 touchdowns in his debut with H time. The Jaguars, they fall to the Dolphins 17-10. Shout out to Tua, 338 yards. Shout out to Tyreek Hill, 130 yards along with the touchdown. Minnesota, they pump it up, whoop down on the Giants. Can't wait to see the Vikings and how they look against the Niners next week. Hint, hint. I already heavily bet the Niners next week. Raiders, the Raiders. They only put up 10 points in their season opener. J.K. Dobbins runs all over them. Chargers, 22-10. They're 1-0 in Harbaugh's first game at the Realm. Seahawks, they beat up on the Broncos 26-20. Broncos still cover for the betters. Seahawks, they're 1-0. The Cowboys of Dallas, they whoop up on the Cleveland Browns 33-17. Cleveland couldn't get anything rolling. I'm talking about a car with no engine. Commanders, they fall to the Buccaneers. One of my favorite bets this weekend. One of my biggest bets this weekend. Excuse me. Buccaneers minus the 3.5, 37-20, cover with ease. Baker Mayfield, shout out to him. He went out there and slung 4 touchdowns in the victory. Then you got the Lions, Rams, hell of a game to open up the season on Sunday night, overtime thriller. The Detroit Lions, I just want to say this. When they were ready to finish that game, they ran the ball up the gut. 70 something yards and put it in the damn end zone and said, "This game's over. It's over, Johnny." Very impressive way to end the game, although it was tighter than it probably should have been. Rams also had a few chances where they should have won it as well. So, not that impressive. But that final drive in overtime was definitely um, finger licking good for the Detroit Lions. Jets, Niners, CMC, Christian McCaffrey, it's Italian. He doesn't play. It doesn't matter. Jordan Mason, 28 carries, 147 yards, 1 touchdown, went absolutely bonkers. 49ers cannot be contained by the New York Jets. Jets. Garbage time touchdown made it closer than it was. 32-19 win for the Niners. They roll in their season opener. Man, please. Everybody needs to relax. I'll say that for every single fan base. Ravens fans, you'll be all right. Packers fans probably have the worst scenario coming out of week one. You lose a nail biter game, you could have won. Your guy gets hurt on the last drive. But every other team just relax. Panthers, we knew y'all was trash. You're just gonna be trash. Shout out Jonathan Mathan in the chat. Definitely gonna be some upsets this week. I actually think favorable lines is I'm thinking opposite. There's a lot of lines I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. A lot of weird games, a lot of weird lines, a lot of road favorites. Only bet I made so far is the Niners minus the 5.5. I like the two primetime games though. Off the top of my head, I like the two home favorites, Houston and Philly. But I want to see what the line does over the week from betters. I want to see if any money does come in on those dogs, the Bears and the Falcons. Uh, but I'm gonna be on the favorites. Maybe I get a better number. Falcons. Speaking of, Kirk Cousins don't look ready, man. The Steelers look ready. Kirk Cousins looked like he was favoring that foot. Looked like he was a little nervous, a little scared. Once it got rowdy in the South, that boy didn't know what to do with it. But man, Falcons. Hopefully y'all lose every game. Shout out to the Saints. At the top of the division, tied up there with the Buckaroos. Man, Bucks put up 37. It was the Commanders. The Bucks and the Saints both in the same boat to me. You beat up on trash teams, and now you got to go prove it this week against a good team. Buccaneers, Lions, Saints, Cowboys, both NFC South teams on the road. Definitely going to be a wake up moment for both of those fan bases. Colts, hold your head up. I think y'all get a lot of those. Once y'all start learning how to win those close games, y'all will be all right. Titans, yikes. It's hard to come back from that one on Tuesday. Going up 17 nothing, probably dancing, had the guacamole rolling. Bears come back and slap it. Thursday night, I do like the over 48 and a half. Responding to the chat. I also like Jalen Waddle. I know a lot of people on Hill, but I think this is the game we see Waddle get one when they're in the red zone, plus 170 anytime touchdown. That's where I'm leaning to early on this week in Thursday night football. But anyway, tomorrow, I'll bring you my 11 leg teaser. That's right. Last week was 10 legs. It didn't win. So what did I do this week? I said, let me make it 11 legs. I believe I might have taken one off to bring it back to 10. I did lie to 10 leg teaser. Bring that to you tomorrow for week 2. Uh, Also, we'll talk some college football tomorrow. Bring up the board for week 3 of college football. But without any further ado, today there's some baseball on the diamond. I got 4 bets for you in MLB action. So without further ado, I need somebody, anybody, hit me with the horns. Oh, baby. Oh, boy. Tuesday action in the Major League Baseball. We're going to start it off right. Atlanta Braves just got the last spot of the wild card taken by the New York Metropolitans. Braves, they're taking on the Nationals. Nationals, a sneaky good team. Think the Braves get him here tonight. Reynaldo Lopez will take the mound. Uh, Hopefully he gives the Braves a lift in a gym. I'm gonna go Braves run line. I'm gonna get greedy. Plus 122 on the run line. Atlanta Braves minus 1.5. If you want to be a smarter man than me, take the minus 134 on the money line. I'm gonna get greedy with it. I think the Braves have a hell of a game tonight and go ahead and try to get some momentum rolling. Royals, Yankees. We got Seth Lugo. You know, Seth Lugo let up a bunch of runs, baby. Taking on Marcus Stroman. Give me the over in this one, over 8.5. Royals, Yankees. Like the runs to be plentiful tonight. Royals, Yankees. Give me the over 8.5 there. Both of these teams been kind of cold. Need those bats to warm up again at the same time. We're getting greedy again, baby. The Blue Jays, they're hosting the Metropolitans. You could take the Mets minus 130 on the money line. Me, I'm gonna get greedy. Give me the run line, baby. Minus 1.5 on the Metropolitans taking on Toronto, plus 126 there. Just haven't seen enough life out of the Blue Jays the last month to think that they're gonna just wake up today and bring it. Mets, they've been bringing the life in and day out. Give me the Metropolitans of New York, New York, minus 1.5 plus 126. And then we got a late game here for you. Padres, Mariners. You got Yu Darvish taking on George Kirby. Padres lost 2 in a row. Mariners 5-5 over their last 10. I'm gonna take the Padres at plus money on the money line. Uh, in my least favorite bet of the day, we're gonna go Padres money line plus even money plus 100 on the damn day. How you love that? You got to love that. Captain by a hook, baby. Today on the diamond in MLB, we're going Atlanta Braves minus 1.5 plus 122. We're going over on the Royals, Yankees, Seth Lugo. Seth Lugo let up a bunch of runs. taking on Marcus Stroman. Give me the over 8.5 Royals Yankees. Give me the New York Metropolitans, the other New York team. They're playing north of the border tonight against Toronto. Give me New York Mets minus 1.5. That's plus 126. And then in the late game, I don't like it, but I'm betting it. Give me the Padres, even money on the money line, taking on the Mariners. Give me Darvish going 6+. Shutting them out. Padres on the money line. Again, that's Braves run line. Over 8.5. Royals, Yankees, Mets on the run line. Padres on the money line. Thank y'all for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the love and thank you for the support. This is Captain By a Hook with the red beard. I'm Rowan Donaghy, aka Rowan Dobbs, going live on a fantastic Tuesday. Looking forward to a beautiful, beautiful week of sports. WNBA wrapping up, MLB gearing up for the playoffs, and of course, NFL football just now sprinkling some love in our life. Take all these wagers at your own risk and please, please gamble